The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy.
You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is November 21st, 2018, and this week, Bible, Algos, and Perceptrons. My name's Basil.
And this is Gonz. This is where we talk about other news with Canary Cry views, which
very
may not
dramatic.
make any sense to you, but it will.
Very dramatic reading. Okay, Gonz, we're just going to jump right into it here. Well, first of all, maybe we shouldn't jump right into it. We have Thanksgiving, the giving of thanks coming up.
Yes.
Do you have any fun plans for that? Are you going to be eating any canaries?
Maybe, yeah. I'm gonna fry a canary. No. This Thanksgiving happens to fall on my 10-year anniversary, being married to Erin. So,
oh, that's lovely.
We made it. Double digits.
You made it. You did it. You won. You won the game of love.
We'll see about that.
By the way, I don't know if you saw this, Gonz, but in the Canary Cry community, somebody in there, I'm not sure, it looks like some sort of Arabic language speaking person. Somebody in there, I think, thinks that it's like a canary fan group to actual canaries.
Wow.
Yeah, because they are posting like canary health tips for your like pet canary.
Didn't that happen? Something like that happened to us before in some group.
I don't remember, but yeah, this is the one. So there you go. Canary Cry community, your place to meet with other Canarians and also get some good canary health tips for your pet canary.
Until Facebook wants to enter into your brain.
Okay, yeah, until then. But first of all, Gonz,
first off, robot arms.
First of all, I got a Flippy update for us. This is on boingboing.net, which is a very fun name for a website. Diners use chest-mounted robot arms to feed each other in unusual social experiment. I'm not going to read through the whole thing here, but basically, Flippy has made another appearance in the food industry, not this time cooking the food, but this time feeding the food to its human slaves. It's a big chest-mounted vest mounted robot arm, and very interesting social experiment. When you smiled, so it's got facial recognition there as well. When you smile, the robot arm picks up a piece of food and feeds it to your eating companion. But when you frown, it picks up some food and feeds it to you. So it's just here to like meet your needs or show love to your companion. So no longer do we need to, speak or do something nice for our friends. Now we have robots doing it for us.
Yeah, this is the whole thing. It looks bizarre. It's just an appendage type arm sticking out of the chest.
It's a little short. It's funny when you watch the video, the arm's a little short, so it'll like reach out to try to feed your friend, but your friend kind of has to like
extension.
Kind of has to move forward to eat it out of your weird robot arm. But feeding your friends is kind of already a weird thing to do, and so I'm not sure if getting a robot arm to help you out with it is any weirder. But there you go. Flippy he's done a lot of food preparation. He's cooked hamburgers, pizzas. He's fried chicken. And now not only can he cook it, but you can put it right in your mouth. No longer do you need to even lift a finger to gain the benefits from our robot friends in the kitchen.
Oh, man. 1 in 8 people don't even have access to clean water and food, but we have people here with robot arms sticking out of their chest. This is ridiculous. What are we doing?
I don't even want to lift my own piece of cake to my face. I just need a robot slave to stuff it into my
human
gob.
hands. It gets so messy, It's just so so gross. Just let the robots bring food to my mouth.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of food and the all the problems that it presents in our lives.
It would be great if you actually had that arm just busted out at Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's just how our pioneer forefathers, our pilgrim forefathers would have wanted it. That's really what Thanksgiving is all about. Just reaching across the table and stuffing a piece of garlic bread in your friend's face.
Yep.
That's even more. I mean, we talk about robots going haywire. That's, you see these, there's a video of it, and you see the robot arm feeding either your friend or feeds yourself, and these people are terrified. You can just see like the mental images of this robot arm going completely berserk and like stuffing it all the way down their throat,
or just start
sticking it up their nose
or something.
Yeah,
that's a bad situation you're in if it starts giving
stuffing a hot dog in your eyeball or something. Okay, but speaking of food guns,
yes.
Dun dun dun, we've got another salad apocalypse.
Oh no.
That's right, everybody. Every couple years, like clockwork, we got a salad apocalypse. This is just a little update from MSN.com. Romaine lettuce is not safe to eat. CDC warns U.S. customers. That's right. I've been saying it for years, folks. Romaine lettuce is unsafe to eat in any form, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention said Tuesday in a broad alert in response to a new outbreak of illness caused by a particularly dangerous type of E. coli contamination. You know what, Guns? This actually did terrify me a little bit. Because sandwiches, right? You've heard of those? Sub sandwiches?
I'm aware of them, yes.
Okay, so yesterday I went to a sub sandwich place. And, the old classic one where you get to choose what you get. And I thought I was going to be so smart, so health conscious. I thought I was going to cheat the system. And instead of getting the iceberg lettuce, the kind of like the shredded iceberg lettuce that looks like it belongs in like a hamster cage. They had these big leafy pieces. They had these big leafy pieces of romaine lettuce, and I said,
"That's how they get you."
I'll skip the iceberg. I'll get the romaine because I'm a healthy boy. Oh, wow, cats here.
Cats and dogs in the background.
And you could see the sandwich artist, they're sandwich artists. She winked. She's like, "Oh, this man knows his leafy greens." And then, of course,
the sandwich maker.
See, they know.
You need to cherish those moments because eventually it's not going to be a person on the other side of that glass there.
Trust me, I cherish the moment. And but I quickly stopped cherishing the moment when literally a day later the warning comes out.
It would have been better if you're like biting into the sandwich and looking at your phone and seeing that story pop up as you're chowing it down.
So I'll be reporting on my E. coli development as we move through the week here.
I was going to say that my wife Erin also had a salad, I believe, today. So we made it. We might make it to 10, but
yeah. Well, Gons,
we'll keep you guys posted on that.
As usual, the origins of the outbreak is unknown and remains under investigation. The CDC did not limit the warning to romaine from any particular agricultural area. And Gons, this is why I'm telling you, we got to put all these leafy greens on the blockchain.
Okay.
Come on, man. You got to hit me with that jingle.
Blockchain.
Thank you, man. What do I got to do around here to get a jingle?
The four horsemen of the technocalypse.
Anytime you see the four horsemen, it's something special.
That's right. All right, Gons, what you want to tell me about this one? You want me to take this one? Okay.
Yeah, so one of the four horsemen of the technocalypse here on this show is Elon Musk. He gets way too much airtime along with Jeff Bezos and a couple other guys.
Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg. The four horsemen of the technocalypse. We're calling the shot here.
Yeah. The FCC just approved SpaceX's plan to launch 7,518 internet satellites, but the clock is ticking under the terms of the approval. This is futurism.com. And there you go.
That's a lot of satellites.
The FCC approved not 7,519, but 7,518 internet satellites. It's such a little bit of a
random number. I mean, who knows who's paying for these things? And look, hey, we want to be sensitive to our flat Earth listeners who not only believe the Earth is flat and that space isn't real, but therefore satellites aren't real. So it puts this even under much more suspicion.
Yeah, and for any cryptocurrency holders, everybody's waiting for what the United States and the FCC are going to do with cryptos and what regulations and this and that. They're busy. They're busy reading Elon's proposal for satellites, internet satellites to launch into space, because we can't have that boom of blockchain bull run without the internet satellites in place there.
Yeah, that guy just breaks hearts and lights dreams aflame and still gets to send thousands of satellites into the sky. So whatever he's doing.
Yeah, for flat earthers and dome skiers, is that what they're called?
No, I think you just made that up. But okay, we all know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, they're probably just going to stick satellites on the firmament, and just give internet to everybody.
Paste them up there.
Yeah, it's a big global brain.
Some 3M poster goo.
Yeah, global brain, or it's a domo brain,
Oh, very good. On Thursday, the Federal Communications Commission approved SpaceX's request to launch 7,518 internet broadcasting satellites. That's in addition to an approval it granted the Elon Musk-led space tech venture back in March for 4,425 satellites, bringing the total company can launch to almost 12,000 satellites. FCC won't let me be. Musk says that the Starlink satellite constellation will maintain a line of sight to everyone on Earth, providing global internet connectivity, an entrepreneurial pitch that clearly resonated with the FCC's current leadership. So yeah, this literally is Elon's part to play in creating Skynet.
Yeah, there was another story that we didn't actually put in to talk about this, but just to tag onto it, there was a story about full body scans, now being available, like the first full-on body scan, and just combine the two there. Everybody's on camera, and we have these full body scans. There's just really nowhere to hide anymore. They're just
there you go.
The only place is your mind, Basil.
Well, it's bad news for those who are trying to go off the grid because
there's no such thing anymore.
Elon
it's not going to be such thing as off the grid.
We are the grid.
Yeah, we are the grid
at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, positive stuff, Basil.
Yeah, so there you go. Not too much to speculate on there. I think it's all pretty clear. But the FCC is telling Elon he has to get at least 6,000 of those off the ground by 2024. So we are looking at kind of an extended timeline, which is a great way for Elon to guarantee some job security there.
At least for the next few years,
Yeah, why not? Although I don't think job security, he obviously is not very concerned with job security.
No, that's probably the last thing on his mind. But I'm glad you think that's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Just to make yourself feel better.
Gons, hit me with another Speaking of the Beast system here.
Speaking of the beast system. Beast system.
Thank you very much. This is reporting from FoxNews.com, which we don't really talk about too much because it's just so mainstream, We like boingboing.net and even futurism.
It's interesting that this is coming from their science section. Do you want to do this, or do you want me to knock it out?
That's a great question. I'll start with this one. We'll see how we go.
Okay.
By the way, everybody, we are doing a test of our live streaming capabilities on the Discord channel. We sent out a little notification, but it is late. So, if you are a Patreon supporter and you have access to the Discord channel, you will soon be able to listen to this show live as we babble on into the void.
Babylon?
Oh, good catch.
Ooh.
Oh, by the way, I am wearing my Escape from Babylon t-shirt right now from Signal the Storm. So if you guys are listening, I'm wearing the t-shirt. I love it. Okay, moving on. FoxNews.com algorithm may one day be able to alter Bible style for its audience. That's right, folks. The Algos are getting into the scriptures. Computer scientists have used various editions of the Bible to develop an algorithm that identifies different authors' writing styles, Inside Science reported. The researchers, comprising computer scientists and mathematicians from Dartmouth College, New Hampshire, and Indiana University, said they used 34 English language versions of the New and Old Testaments to develop the system. A long-range goal is a possibility of altering the Bible's style for its audience. Great. Perfect. Just what we need. A researcher said, one day a computer algorithm may be able to, for example, use the text that Ernest Hemingway may have written to alter various Bible verses. The Bible it's just going to be super depressing. And about 7 times longer. Thanks, Ernest Hemingway. The Bible, as for book nerds out there, the Bible was chosen, the researcher said, for its being the most cited literary text in history. The text comprises 31,000 verses and 1.5 million unique pairings of words, according to the report. Quote, the goal was to see if we could basically use the translation framework to some form of style translation, said Dan Rockmore of Dartmouth. You have prophetic books, some of which are full of very high poetry and stories about marrying prostitutes. You have Proverbs, which itself has multiple styles. That was a quote from Shlomo Argamon. The Bible's multiple writing styles, sometimes in a single book, created certain challenges, said Shlomo Argamon, a linguist and computer scientist quoted in the report. Shlomo Argamon, I just want to say, is a fake person made up for the purposes of this. That cannot possibly be the name of anyone or anything besides a robot. Maybe a robot.
I'm gonna look it up while you keep reading the article.
Quote, you have... okay, that's the quote I just read. To solve that problem, the researchers treated every book of the Bible as its own unique style, said Keith Carlson of Dartmouth. Each author's style was defined using sentence length, the use of passive or active sentences, and vocabulary, according to the report. The results of the experiment were published last month in the academic journal Royal Society Open Science. The next step, the researchers said, is to successfully convert one style of writing to another. Yeah, this sounds like a great idea, Gons, because really, I mean, nothing bad has ever happened from trying to, change the scriptures in any way according to the reader's preferences. I'm pretty sure it says in the Bible, read this however you want and just do whatever you want with it. It's all good.
A couple things. One, I think it's hilarious that Fox, when they touch on science, and this is in the science section, they talk about AI and they have to talk about the Bible. It's almost kind of in this like positive light, like, oh, we'll be able to do some cool stuff with AI, which is this particular thing is pretty, I don't know, mundane, with all the AI talk. But, you bring it into context with the Bible, and this is the only kind of application they can think of or something.
I mean, this is we literally called this like a year ago or 2 years ago.
We talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Gons, I do have a question for you though. If you could alter the Bible style for you, the audience, what style would you prefer it to be in?
Oh, that's a good question. I might have to think about that a little bit longer. Maybe like a good 1970s or 80s Japanese anime, just full blown, really long, intense stare down scenes, lots of fighting. No, it would be good. It might take a lifetime. Yeah, everything's
there's just a lot of that in between. I don't know.
A lot of grunting. Yeah, it's just its own.
I'm not even gonna try to do a Bible verse in anime style for fear of
we'll have
offending my good friend.
We'll have notes.
Yoko Ono
talking. Notes talking about the reason why we chose the grunt over an actual verbal explanation of the passage. Things like that. Right. Anyway, one of the things that's interesting about this particular application of AI and language is that there's a quote that will be in Age of Deceit 3. It's from a book called Prediction Machines: The Simple Economics of Artificial Intelligence. And in that book, it actually mentions the Tower of Babel as sort of the problem that AI is solving. And because AI is essentially a prediction machine, it takes information and predicts a potential outcome that we would want. They have been able to approach language with that in mind. And the translation of language, because it's not always a one-to-one translation of words. We've had problems with that with Google Translate, and they've upped the ante with the translators, but now with the AI, they're able to learn sentence structure and they're able to program all that stuff in. And we really are. I mean, even the point that I made in the film, and I think it's something that we've over and over made it on this show and Canary Cry Radio and everything else. Yeah. Is that even the secular world is recognizing and acknowledging that we are effectively doing something that reflects on the days of the Tower of Babel. And that includes Noah's life. He lived 350 years after the flood. So, Jesus was right. He said, as it were in the days of Noah. Well, there's an example. So I just think it's fascinating that even the secular world is, seeing that side of things with this technology. And then, and then the other point being again, Fox News trying to make AI cool with the the conservative evangelical crowd or whatever is the audience here for Fox.
Yeah, I can't tell. Actually, there was, I gotta say, there was very little bias within this. Like, I couldn't tell if they were trying to make it cool or say it was a bad thing. I mean, to anybody really paying attention, I mean, this is a really bad thing.
It's not a good idea.
People. Reading. I mean, we already read the Bible and sort of interpret what we want and kind of reflecting our own biases within it. And to have an algorithm, just cater. It's kind of like, what it's kind of like? It's kind of like having a robot arm strapped to your chest that will feed you or your friend based on your mood. Is kind of what like this whole Bible algorithm thing.
The only difference with history and all the denominations that have come up from different translations and interpretations, and this time around,
blockchain.
That's going to be the difference. Everything all the different denominations will be permanently stored on the blockchain.
There we go.
We cannot change the words.
Speaking of blockchain, and more importantly, beast system.
Speaking of the beast system, beast system.
This is the one we've been waiting for, Gons. This is the one. The nextweb.com breakthrough neural network paves the way for quantum AI. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Italian researchers recently developed the first functioning quantum neural network by running a special algorithm on an actual quantum computer. Now, just to be clear, everybody, we talk about quantum computers a lot. We talk about AI a lot, but we've also talked about quantum computing and AI put together, but it's usually in some sort of like apocalyptic Skynet, robots take over and destroy all humans type of way. Mm-hmm. But the team, led by Francesco Tacchiano of the University of Pavia in Italy, pre-published. Don't know what that means, but they pre-published their research on AirXIV earlier this month in a research paper titled An Artificial Neuron Implemented on an Actual Quantum Processor. Basically, they developed a single-layer artificial neural network that runs on a quantum computer. This kind of rudimentary ANN is called a perceptron.
Dun dun dun. We really need to just get that sound effect.
We do. I know. I can't believe we don't have it already. And it's the basic building block of more robust neural networks. Previous attempts at building a perceptron on a quantum system have involved treating individual qubits as neurons in a network. This is a cumbersome and insanely complex method that's failed to produce much in the way of actionable results. Tacchino and company decided to try a different approach. Here we introduce an alternative design that closely mimics a Rosenblatt perceptron on a quantum computer. There's a bunch of words that mean something to somebody, people. We experimentally show the effectiveness of such an approach by practically implementing a 2-qubit version of the algorithm on the IBM quantum processor available for cloud quantum computing. So your good friend IBM is in on this whole game. IBM's Q Experience computer, a 5-qubit cloud access quantum system, has long been billed as a way to interact with quantum computing for those of us who don't have millions to spend on laboratories and access to world-class physicists and engineers. But typically, it's thought of as an educational tool. One of the big problems with quantum computers is that there isn't any software programs or code for them. It's hard to write code for a machine that defies the laws of physics, but it's not impossible. So I'm going to scoot down a little bit in the article here. There's a lot more of that sort of engineering tech talk there. But this simply means that neural networks running on quantum systems could potentially be exponentially more robust than those running on classical systems. The implications for this amalgam of AI and quantum computing are well beyond imagination. What happens when we develop machines capable of acting as translators between the raw underlying language of the universe and humankind? That's a question best left for podcasters. Just kidding. It says philosophers, but I think podcasters have better answers. But in the world of physics, as researchers learn more about ANNs, the engineers develop more advanced quantum computing systems, it's possible a new class of machine learning will arrive to replace the old classical deep learning networks. Tomorrow's intelligent machines won't be either AI-powered or quantum. They'll be both.
Yeah.
That's right. There's not much to say about that, Gons. It's just what we've been fearing for years.
Yeah, the Perceptron I'm learning here is a simplified model of the biological neuron. And it's basically they've tried to emulate a biological neuron with a function.
It's the name for equation. The thing that I invented about 6 years ago on Canary Cry Radio.
Right.
But they're just smarter and can think of better names.
Except Perceptron was coined, it looks like, in 1964 or something. So
time travelers stole it from me. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, Gons, I'm very excited because you know why? Because we have a Nephilim update. I see that on my notes here.
Nephilim update. Nephilim update. Nephilim update.
I don't know how this is going to work. I'm going to play a little background music, and we got to make it quick because my dog is hurting here.
You got this.
KeenGamer.com. Ever played the game Darksiders? Well, they have some lore.
Ooh.
Darksiders 2, during the war imprisonment, there was some Nephilim. The 4 horsemen are the last remaining Nephilim in existence. They had grown weary of the mass crusade of destruction they were part of with their fellow Nephilim. So swore themselves to the Charred Council.
Oh no.
Their first order of business was to wipe out all other Nephilim in existence.
Ooh.
They work as enforcers for the Charred Council in order to maintain the balance between heaven, hell, and earth. The horsemen are comprised of death, war, fury, and strife, names they chose to go after by joining with the council.
The council.
Yeah, so there you go.
Wow,
that seems
update. That's intense. All right, everybody. If you want more Canary Cry Radio, Canary Cry News Talk, you can head over to patreon.com/ccnt and sign up for the extended reports. But if you don't do that, go out there, tell your friends. They got to be listening to Canary Cry News Talk. That's right. Go rattle some cages.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
Dude, we had the sickest fellowship last night.
That's right, everybody. Like I said, you can head over to patreon.com/ccnt, sign up for extended reports, as well as have access to our Discord channel where we are currently broadcasting live. But make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.